Android Auto demo for Acura RLX 2014 to 2019. Acura RLX 2014 to 2019 share 100% identical screens. In this video, Android Auto. Press and hold the back button. Select with the joystick Apple CarPlay Android Auto. Hit enter and there you go. You got your Android Auto, all control with the factory joystick, just like 100% original. You can change all the features. Go into the audio. Open the menu by pushing left, closing by pushing right. Going back to the maps. 100% original Android Auto. In this video, Apple CarPlay. Press and hold the back button. Press enter and you're going to see the Apple CarPlay on the screen. Control with the joystick. You got all the apps. Google Maps over here. You got Waze, Tuner Radio, and all the other apps. You got many pages. In this video, HDMI Mirroring. HDMI Mirroring demo. Press and hold the back button. Go into HDMI, select it. Hit enter, and there you go. You have your Netflix. It says now playing on your TV. And you have the Netflix on the screen, or you can mirror the entire phone. Whatever you see on your phone will show here, iPhone and Android. This video is a two-part video, part 1 operation of the interface, part 2 installation of the interface. Nav Tool Established 2002. See description below the video for product information. Must expand description section if watching this video on mobile device. This is a demo of iPhone Android smartphone mirroring with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto plus 4 camera inputs. Interface compatible with Honda and Acura vehicles dual or single screen with or without factory joystick. This interface does not replace factory radio or factory screen. This interface enhances the factory screen with features like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, HDMI mirroring, and extra cameras. All factory features work as before. This interface is a see-through. The vehicle does not detect that the interface is installed in the car. This product is 100% designed and manufactured in the USA. Please support American jobs. This product is 100% automotive grade product. Apple CarPlay feature of the interface. Now let's test Apple CarPlay. Connect your phone. Apple CarPlay will appear on the phone. This is real CarPlay. You can press and hold the back button to switch. Then we can go, you see Apple CarPlay highlighted on the right hand side. We got Apple CarPlay logo. We're on the CarPlay mode. You rotate to the CarPlay and you enter. Keep in mind, CarPlay only comes one way and one way only. It is inside your phone. CarPlay does not exist anywhere else. iPhone only exists inside your phone. All updates today or 20 years from now happen only inside your phone. You never have to worry about updating it. This hardware never have to be updated. As your phone updates with new apps, it will appear automatically here. In any car, CarPlay is the same. This CarPlay is same as would be in 2018 Acura MDX. Same control with the joystick. So all the apps, everything works. You got Waze, you got Google Maps, you got everything. So Tuner Radio, for example, one of my favorite apps. Hit enter. It's going to load up Tuner Radio. Let's do local radio station. Obviously have to be an auxiliary. Press enter and it's going to load.
Want to hear the backstory on your favorite cars?
And now we have the audio. Alright, so you got the CarPlay on the screen. And you can control whatever apps you want. So if you want to go into podcasts, the daily, and it's going to play whatever you have on the screen. So on this plays
from the New York Times.
Pause, play.
This
pause,
is the daily.
Play. Pause. You can rotate to highlight other options. So skip, go back 30, skip forward.
From the New York Times, I'm Michael Barbaro. This
and then you can use any other app with the audio playing. So we're not going to do that. Press back to go back. We got the phone. You can do the phone call and get your text messages, obviously. Everything is just like in any car. This is not some kind of mirroring, this Apple CarPlay. You got your 3 recent apps here, so if you want to select tune in radio, there you go. Let's go check out Waze. So we got the Waze application that we can enter. Let's go ahead and enter Waze. You got the Waze on the screen. Through the microphone you can say what you want to do, or you can control on the screen, because the interesting part is that when you're in the CarPlay mode with Waze, it gives you a special screen over here that lets you choose. Let's refocus the screen, so you actually get the menu on the screen. Other than that, you just enter destination and go. So this is CarPlay, just like any car. CarPlay can be operated two-way. Touchscreen with the joystick, same as 2018 MDX. This is exactly how the CarPlay works in 2018 MDX. You got all the same features. To get out, you rotate the joystick all the way to the home button over here, enter, and gets out of the home. You got the phone calls, obviously. You got your regular maps, which are the Apple maps. You got your Google Maps. So let's go ahead and enter Google Maps, and you got your Google Maps. You got settings. You can do satellite maps if you want to. You can get out of the satellite maps and the regular maps. You can add destinations. You know, everything is basically here. If you want to go to the phone, this is your recent. You can dial the phone number here if you really like. You can do 789 553 1212. And that's it. You can call anybody you want. You can go ahead and call, hang up. If you go into recent here, so over here the top one shows you the app that is running right now, which is the phone. Then you can switch into the maps, and then if you want, again, so Google Maps are on top now. If you want to switch to tune-in radio, change the station, you go to tune-in radio. This is regular CarPlay. Whatever features you have from Apple, that's how it's going to work. We didn't invent anything new. That's all you get. That's all from Apple. So this is all HD quality. Image is original to the one in 2018 MDX or any other car with CarPlay. On the video you might not see, but it's crisp HD image. All the apps, see, we got a bunch of apps. You obviously got Google Maps, bunch of radio apps. You got Waze, of course, regular Apple Maps, text messages, phone calling. So this is CarPlay. CarPlay that's on your phone. So when our CarPlay is working, we have the audio through auxiliary. We can go ahead and use it. And phone button, Siri, you install the microphone and you have the Siri in the car. To get out of the CarPlay into the regular menu, click return, and it gets out of the CarPlay.
Android Auto feature of the interface.
Now let's test Android Auto. Connect the Android phone. Once we connect the Android phone, the Android Auto is going to come on the screen. So we're going to go into Android Auto, and Android Auto is booting up. In a second, Android Auto will appear on the screen. There you go. Now we have Android Auto. Same thing, all controls are factory. You need to get into this menu on the bottom. You press down. Now we're able to highlight. Follow the highlight. Maps, calls, main menu. To get out, last one, press enter. One more time. Return to, and it's going to rotate, and it's going to return to the factory screen. If you want to go back, you go back. Now again, we're on the factory screen. If you got audio, this is here, but if you need to go to the down menu, press down. Your audio apps are over here. You need to open this for the menu, so you go up to the left or press left. Radio. Press right to close. Press left to open. Press right to close. Press left to open. Go back. go back. You got your navigation maps. You can select, again, press down, go to the maps, and you can use Google Maps or Android Auto, depends on what you got. So you can go ahead and enter the maps, and if you press down, the highlighters over here, you can change between Google Maps and Waze. So we're gonna stay in Google Maps, and over here you got the search. You got all the controls. So on the left, you get your maps. To get out, go to the right, and follow the highlight. Wherever the gray highlight is, that's what you get to select. It's same as Android Auto in any other car, such as 2018 Acura MDX. You never have to worry about updates. Android Auto is always updated inside the phone and in the phone only. All the apps, all the updates. And again, just like Android Auto in 2018 MDX or any other car with Android Auto, controls with the joystick, and you get all the controls. We know Android Auto is working, so we're good to go here.
HDMI mirroring feature of the interface.
Now let's test HDMI input. You can connect anything to HDMI that is 720p or more. You can connect our mirroring device, which is wireless for iPhone and Android. For Android, we always recommend getting wireless device. For iPhone, we recommend using Apple's own Lightning to HDMI adapter. You're not inside the living room, so you can nicely route the cable into the armrest area. So it's not like across living room you have a cable. It is nicely routed inside, and you just plug in your phone and you have the mirroring. Let's test that. Let's connect our phone and let's see what we get on the screen. So we're going to go ahead and connect the phone through HDMI cable, and after we connect the phone, it should appear on the screen. There is no limit. Netflix, Hulu, all video apps work without any limit. So let's go ahead and get this working. Press and hold the back button. You activate the interface. And the standard is HDMI, and for cameras, the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is optional module that we pre-install inside the interface, so it's all in one adapter. But if it's grayed out, which means either the cable is not connected or you didn't purchase the module, but the HDMI will always be there. Let's go ahead and select HDMI. Click enter. We have the YouTube here, so the YouTube video plays. So basically whatever you see on the phone screen, you'll see identical on the car screen. If we turn it, it's going to be this way. If we get out, obviously it's going to be. So whatever you see on the phone, that's what you see on the car screen. But there you go, you got your 4K video. Keep in mind, if you got the iPhone X, any iPhone with a notch, when you mirror, even with Apple TV, it will not be full screen. So any phone with a notch, that's how the video looks in mirroring, even with Apple TV. Because we're mirroring, we're not streaming the video, we're doing the mirror image. So that's how it works. If you zoom in on the video, right, you see it makes the original and then it zoomed into fill. But otherwise it's going to be full screen. Let me show you some other app like Netflix. It's going to be full screen. So let's switch to Netflix. And when you see Netflix, Netflix is going to be full. As you can see on the screen, when the video loads, it's going to go ahead and be a full screen. So the video is loading, and you see it says now playing on your TV, but the video is actually taking up entire full screen, so you don't have any problems. It's edge to edge, and you can see beautiful HD. Everything is HD. This is not analog input. This is full high definition. Alright, so we know our HDMI is working properly, and after we test that, you can connect any 720p device to the HDMI input. You can do wired or wireless. Again, Apple is preferred to be wired. That's how Apple designed the phones, and iPhone is wired preferred way. Route the cable nicely into your armrest or wherever you're going to have the interface sitting. Route it in there. For Android, it's recommended wireless because most Androids don't have HDMI output.
Camera feature of the interface.
Camera testing. Left turn signal, left camera comes on. If you're not installing left camera, with the turn signal nothing will happen, so it will work as before. You will be on the factory screen, whatever is displayed here. Right camera turns on. If you're not installing right camera, nothing is going to happen. If you have a factory right view camera, you have a factory lane watch camera. Okay, we want to test reverse camera. In reverse, we got the factory reverse camera. And in drive, we got a front camera. The front camera automatically turns off after you reach the speed of 10 miles an hour. Okay, so we know all the cameras work. Cameras do remember the place where it was before. So which means if you're on the factory screen, you put the left camera on, you will have left camera. If you're on the interface, and let's say you inside the CarPlay, and you put the left camera on, it will go back to the CarPlay. If you put the right camera on, it will go back to the CarPlay. Alright, next thing we want to test. To get out of the CarPlay, hit return. Cameras are working, but now you want to test manual operation. Let's say you're just driving and you want to watch the camera. So if you're driving and you want to watch the right camera, highlight the right camera, enter, and you drive at any speed, you will see right lane watch camera. You want to test left camera, enter, and as you drive you can see left camera at all times. If you want to see forward camera, enter, and you will see the forward camera. For rear view camera, there's a way to rewire factory rear view camera, but we don't recommend doing it, or you can just add another camera if you want to watch the rear view camera while driving. But any other camera you can watch while driving by rotating the joystick. You highlight the camera you want to be on. The green one shows the last selection. So to get out, rotate once. Now we know all the cameras are working, and we can continue to test the other stuff.
Interface installation.
Once we take everything out, all the screws, we're ready to take the radio out. This radio just comes out. Before we do that, let's see what's in the box.
What's in the box?
You got the main interface. On the interface, you have two connectors and the main connector. On the other side, you got USB, which is used either for charging, or if you purchased optional Apple CarPlay and Android Auto that is inside, you will have an option once connecting Android phone or Apple phone to have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. HDMI input is in standard, optional port, and then you have your update port for micro USB, status LEDs on the interface. This is 100% made in the USA, and the interface is 100% automotive grade. You have in the box an audio harness. So this is your audio harness. You're going to find the matching harness behind this radio. This is your audio. This is how you're going to hear audio either from Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, or HDMI when mirroring the phone. You're going to find the matching harness. You're going to take the harness from in the back of the radio. You're going to plug it in here, and then this connector goes back into the radio. So whatever you unplug in here, back into the radio. You got this harness. This is your connector that connects to the main harness that we supply you with. We're going to get to that in a second. This is the harness that allows you to do control of the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, or the interface with a factory jog. So it's this one. So the factory jog that you have over here, that is the harness for this. It is also connected back of the radio. You're going to find the matching connector, unplug it, plug it in here, and then this connector is going to go back into the radio. And you got this little tee-off that is going to connect to the main harness. And then you got the power connector. You're also going to find matching connector back of the radio, plug it in here, and this goes back into the radio. And then the tee-off connects to the main harness. The main harness has 4 camera inputs. These 2 wires you don't need to use. You got 2 audio RCAs, so they connect together with the audio harness that we showed you just previously. You connect them together, and that's how you're going to hear audio. You got 4 camera inputs if you want to install additional cameras, and this plugs in into the interface main connector. So just like this, plug it in. Then this end connects to the main plug and play harness. Just like this. So you got the interface. Obviously you're going to remove the zip tie to expand the harness, but the main interface, plug in the main harness, plug and play power harness. Then you got the audio RCAs that you're going to connect together with the audio harness. You're going to connect the RCAs together. You're also going to plug in here into the 4-pin connector an optional harness for the controller. This is included to control the interface with the joystick. So on the harness you have also this 4-pin connector, and you're going to connect them together just like this. And then you got 2 digital cables. You're going to find matching cables, one in the back of the radio, one in the back of the screen. You're going to unplug the factory cable, plug this in the back of the screen, unplug this and plug this into the back of the radio. They're identical cables, so it doesn't matter which one you use. And then on the interface here, you're going to connect them. You got the middle one that connects to the screen side, so you're going to take one of the 2 cables, connect one cable to the screen side, and then the second cable is the one that's to the radio side. So previously you had one straight cable going from radio to the screen. Now it's going to be from radio into the interface and out to the screen. And we're using all original connectors, so it's same as factory. And this is how everything is going to work. Now this radio we don't care about. Everything is going to work as before. You're not going to lose any of the features. So when you install this interface, all factory features, steering wheel controls, all cameras, everything you have factory will work as before. We're only using this screen to display HDMI cameras or Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and we're using the joystick when in an interface mode. When you activate it, you're going to use the joystick to control Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, or cameras. Once you deactivate the interface, it's like factory. The interface is see-through, which means it's like nothing even installed in a car. It's going to work 100% like original without any changes. So now we need to go ahead, take the interface, connect it to Windows or Mac computer, and program the software through micro USB using standard USB data cable. Make sure it's data cable and not a cable that's used to charge the phone. It's a regular USB to micro USB. Interface can be programmed using Mac or Windows PC, and an updater is available right on the website. Let's go ahead and program this interface.
Do not forget to program the interface. All interfaces are shipped blank as they need to be configured by the installer or end user. Programming process will take less than 1 minute and can be performed using Windows or Mac computer.
Apple CarPlay update. The update process takes approximately 2 minutes. This is the software already open on the screen. Software is available for Windows and Mac based computers. Step 1, download the updater. It takes approximately 30 seconds. Step 2, open it. It takes 1 second. Step 3, get a cable. USB to micro USB. USB end, you're going to connect it to the computer. Micro USB end, you're going to connect into the interface. Then install appropriate software. So just for the test purposes, we're going to install Jeep Wrangler and hit install. And the installation starts, and the entire process is probably going to take right about 30 seconds. And then after it's installed, you basically do install it in the car. And don't forget to set your dip switches. In the video it's going to tell you whether they go up or down. And the configuration, entire configuration on Windows or Mac computer will take you no longer than 2 minutes. That's everything. That's downloading the software and installing the software. And then the last step is configuring, which is self-explanatory. It's everything is in plain English, right? Don't make it complicated. There's no learning curve to this. As you can see, I hit search, I hit install. It's only one button. So there is no learning curve to use this. it's basically all automated. It sits as 99%. Right now that's going to go away and it's going to say see device completed. Click close, and then the camera settings you can update. Again, this is all here in plain English. On the left hand side you adjust cameras that you want to install if you're installing any. On the right hand side you choose cameras that car is equipped with, and then how do you want to operate. Again, it's all in plain English. So if you're installing side cameras, there are 3 ways to operate them: manual, manual with a speed check, manual without speed check. Everything is in plain English. Again, no learning curve. The whole update takes approximately 1 minute. You just have to tell the interface if you're going to install any aftermarket camera, and you got to tell the interface if you have any of the factory cameras. You're completing your update, and it took us about 2 minutes and 30 seconds for the entire process. Take it to the car and continue with the installation.
Interface installation process.
Okay, now that we programmed the interface, let's go ahead and remove the radio so we can access the connectors in the back and install the plug-and-play harness. Pull on the radio comes out. Now remember, you have connector here in the back, you got to take it out. So this connector, and on the bottom same thing, you have one connector for these buttons right here. Take it out also. Alright, that's the connector right here on the bottom. Pull the radio out. It's easier if you have a friend to hold it, or just drop it down a little bit like this. We don't need anything more than that. Take one of the 2 supplied digital cables, this cable's right here. Take one of these cables and install it back of the radio. Find the matching connector like this, but it's going to be gray. It's somewhere here in this area. Alright, I've done a few, so I know exactly where it is, but it's going to be right on top over here in this row, right on top. Take this and plug it in. Again, you got 2 of this. It doesn't matter which one you connect first. They're both identical. So plug it in. The factory one you no longer need to use. So plug this in into the opening. Okay, now that we plug this in, we want to install the power harness. The power harness is located in the back. It's on this side all the way on the bottom. Take your power connector, which is this one. It's with the lock. Just so you know, to open the factory one, this is how you open this one. You got the lock over here. You press on this tab and it opens up. So you press on this little tab. See right there? Press on it and it opens up. You insert it and lock it. Then you got the factory connector. Plug it in here. Second one, you take your second connector, plug it in here. The other end, plug back into the radio. So you install the plug and play harness behind the radio, everything is done. And now you got 2 ends that you need to connect to the main harness. Remove the zip tie to expand the main harness. Now that you expanded the main harness, we care about these 2 connectors at the end of the harness. One goes in here. Second one goes in here. Okay, so now we're connected plug and play harness to the main harness. Now we want to connect the audio harness. So on that harness you just expanded, you got 2 audio RCAs. So you want the audio RCAs connected so you can hear audio. So you take the harness with audio RCAs. They're stereo. Take the harness find the matching harness back of the radio and install it. The matching harness is located all the way in the middle, all the way in the bottom. So unplug the factory one, plug the factory in here, and then plug this one back into the radio. Now you want to connect the audio RCAs together with this audio RCAs. So connect the audio RCAs together. To connect the audio together, you might want to use something like this, like 2 jumper cables. Connect 2 here, and then you're going to go ahead and connect them into the interface harness. You got 2 RCAs, so you're going to connect white and red to the main harness that you're installing. We're also adding front, left, and right cameras. So you're going to connect your camera here. Factory camera will work as before without any changes. You don't want to do anything permanent. You want to connect everything, test that everything works to make sure you program and install everything properly. And then you make the beautifications and you close the car. But just like this, see how I installed everything? We're going to do the same thing and test everything. So we have the audio connected. Now we have the last cable left, the digital cable for the screen. So we want to access the back of the screen and connect the digital cable that is on the back of the screen. To do this, carefully put the stuff, let's say, to the right side, and just put it behind for now, so we can place the radio back into its location. And we're going to have everything sit on the right hand side for now while we test everything. And then we're going to close and make everything nice. So put everything on the right hand side, let the radio sit, and now what we want to do is we want to take out the screen. Let's go up to the screen, and we're going to take the screen out. And when we take the screen out, on this side we're going to find a matching connector for this that we're going to unplug and install. So go ahead and unplug this. It's on this side of the screen. And once you unplug it, plug this one in. And then send the connector to the right side. Now that we have all the wiring installed, what we want to do is connect the interface. So take your interface and start doing the connections. So you got 2 cables. So the cable that is coming from the screen, this cable right here, we want to plug in into the middle one. The cable that is coming from this radio, we want to plug in into the one on the outside. The screen comes on even without the power connected. That's normal. That's a safety feature. So this way we know that everything works properly. And then you want to connect the main power cable. Interface will make a beep, and you should have 2 LEDs on, one solid and one flashing. Third one will come on when it identifies that HDMI is connected. So this is normal power. In order for the interface to work, this is how it's supposed to be connected. Put it to the side. Okay, let's continue. Take your car joystick and connect the plug back. And we just want to place it here temporarily just to test to make sure that everything works. We're not doing anything permanently. We're just putting it in place to see, to make sure that everything works. Alright, so here are the joystick controls.
Initial interface testing.
The joystick controls are as follows. Press and hold the back button. Controls the interface. In Siri in CarPlay, the phone button. Do selection, press enter. Back, to go back, press and hold. Alright, let's look at all the controls. Now that we installed everything, we want to make sure everything works. Set the radio to auxiliary. Press and hold the back button. The interface will activate. With the joystick, you can select all your options. So Let's see what we got here. Rear camera is factory, so we cannot select it obviously. Front camera, left camera, left camera. You can buy one with lines or without lines. It is not adjusted, it's just to show you can have a left camera, and it's going to work automatic with turn signals. If you don't install the left camera, it's okay. Same thing, right camera with different kind of lines. Cameras on the screen, so we know the camera works. Again, it's not adjusted, that's just to show you that we can have the camera. To get out of this, you simply press back and it's going to get out. And actually, sorry, to get out you gotta rotate. So if you're in the right camera, rotate, left camera, rotate, and it gets out. HDMI, we don't have anything connected yet, but we know the interfaces works as long as we have the menu. And over here we got Apple CarPlay, and we can see the blue highlight. So we know the interface is working. Let's start to test everything, and then we're going to assemble the car properly.
Go back to the beginning of the video for feature testing and operation.
After you test everything, you can now start assembling the vehicle, hiding all the wires, hiding the module, making everything nice. So this way your car is all put together just like original. Hide the module behind the radio, below the radio, and enjoy the product.
Removal of trim panels.
This is MDX disassembly. It's similar to other vehicles. We have instructions for other vehicles, but it's pretty much all the same. This panel just comes out using something like this. Just pop from one of the corners, and this panel just comes out. There's nothing holding it. It's very simple. In the back, unplug one connector, the blue one, and remove it. Next step, 4 screws. Remove the 4 screws. Behind the panel, you got this panel over here on the bottom. In the bottom of the radio, behind the panel, you got 2 screws that you need to loosen in order to remove the radio. We already loosened, I'm going to show you. So you remove this 4 screws, and then if you loosen the screws on the bottom, you will be able to remove the radio. Only then you will be able to remove the radio. You see, there's these 2 screws. They need to be loosened so the radio can be pulled out. If you do not loosen these 2 screws, the radio will not pull out. Once you pull the radio out, you need to remove 2 screws on top over here, 1 and 2. So this panel can come out. All right, this panel just pulls out. You got 2 screws holding the screen, 1 and 2. They also have to come out. Now, very simple, this one on top, you need to remove this panel on top, and it also comes out forward you. Okay, nothing is holding the panel, it just comes out. There's 1 screw on top, and you can release the screen to access the connector. That's the entire disassembly. So what do we have? We have 3 screws holding the screen, 1, 2, 3. All right, so 3 screws are on the screen. Let's take a look in the reverse order. We're going to reassemble. 3 screws we're going to put back in place. So these are 3 you remove, 3 we're going to put back in. So 3 screws, 2 and 1 on top. Then the cover has to go back on top. It kind of slides in, so you just slide it in. Okay, that's it. The cover slides in. Now, this cover over here goes in here, and 2 screws are holding it. All right, so you got 1, 2 screws. So let's put those screws back into its place. Two screws in place. Now, radio has to go back in. Don't forget hazard switch, and don't forget the air conditioning on the bottom. And the radio goes back into its place. Okay, 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4 has to go back. 2 screws on the bottom that you loosened before, tighten them up. And the last thing is the panel. Take the panel, put it in, and that's it. Your car is reassembled. This car can be reassembled and assembled many times together. Those clips are meant to be removed hundreds of times. You're finished. Make sure that everything works, all the controls, air condition, everything else. Enjoy!
Thank you for watching. Please click the logo on the left hand side to subscribe to the channel. Subscriptions work on smartphones, tablets, and computers. Please like the video, please click the notification bell, and please leave a comment about this video. If you want to watch another video, please click the video on the right hand side.